So anytime you stop me, you want your I know.
As long as karma exists, the world changes, and we change with it. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Foot hand, you can do it. Bang Shelter 11E. Just the place to ride out a storm. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. An old home could be something to it. That's the hut. Wonder if there's anything still inside. .21 gigawatts. Nailed it. You're in pain. Your key energy is all used up. So much damage. Bullets everywhere. Crush lust. Cracker zap. Boom, boom. story will go on as long as there is someone there to listen. Never thought I'd... You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal. Go. You've got nothing left. You found a bric-brac that's not absolutely flat. Good ridey beast, no hurty. A pause place. Probably cleaned out, but you never know. Becoming terminal. No hope of that with as little energy as you have. You look good in that. You feel tougher. Nothing's going to waste. Ooh-wee, that's biohazard. Don't forget the past. Learn from it. Found some e-waste. Worthwhile. Not enough key energy. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. Nummy. There's no time to look back. Too busy moving on. Locked up tight? About time you found some clothes. It suits you. Broke it down as far as you could. You have a good eye for that stuff. You learn more from your mistakes. You could have taken that apart blindfolded. Needs a key. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Yuck! Biohazard. Sickening. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. Light is the best, period. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. The darkness swallows everything at night. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. This thing needs new bound saubers. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. He agrees that it's an option if you want to break stuff, but in this case you want to keep things intact, so it won't leak once you get undersurf. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head. This story is as powerful as you'll let it be. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find Choo Choo here. It's beyond late. See that rubber scrap? That'll add a bit of bounce for you.
Pasado conto pa.
Let's see. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wired up and ready to go. Any kind of protection, you take it. Those look sharp on you. The night is ending soon. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Wonders who doesn't like rules or rails. They keep you on the straight and narrow and bring you right where you belong. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Figures that's true, but they can get you close enough to most things for most reasons. You can stumble along from there. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says you're just like he used to be, a one-track mind, but going the right way.
Run, dog, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Puta que pariu. Cada uma hora é um lugar mais longe que o outro.
This story needs a hero.
Mas é fácil fazer isso. Eu ia pôr no bichinho, velho. Vou subir a pé mesmo. Depois eu vou ali nessa fazenda. Provavelmente tem itens.
The Wingnut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever.
Curar coisinhas aqui também. Chegar pra depois.
This place is like one big secret that keeps unfolding. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. Zapped. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Tell it to gallop.
Being out.
Choo Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason, but he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. Choo Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place. Hopes to see you again soon. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo Choo has no use for it now. Choo Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Figures everyone chooses their own path. The longer you ride the rails, though, the easier it is to travel with friends. Choo Choo's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be. And no rails needed.
KWAI
Needs no rails, no roads, nothing but air.
KWAI
The world's on the mend, so no need to leave it. But just think of all the places the Ark could take you.
Basatakuntapa
Says he's happy to see the Ark in your hands. Knows you'll go great places with it and do some good. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together.
But you know you can't go on without me, even if I'm bad company.
I think we can finally agree on something.
Basatakuntapa
After spending a life on the rails, he's eager to ride the skies with you. Just let him pack his rollerboard, and he'll roll aboard.
Basatakuntapa
Choo Choo says he's ready to pack up and leave.
Kozitaba
Understands completely.
That is bästa jättevarv.
It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. Don't worry too much about how dangerous it can be here. That's a chug hut. Probably no chug chugs in it, but you never know. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing.
Minha veia.
Wiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merkpuff until the octopod is properly armed.
Mai?
He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition.
Gepi?
He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang.
Mikakunga.
There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free.
Gepi?
You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off.
Zum Zumba.
Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world.
Nessa desgraça, velho. E aí, bichinho, tudo bom? Vamos lá de novo, hein? Não tem que mas cadê?
Give it a little kick. Squish it! That's the good stuff. You don't have it in you right now. Static! Hot smock! JAPAH! Electric! Heroes inspire in a way nothing else can. Short circuit. going to happen with your key energy level. Right between the eyes. You might want to fall back.
Morreu. Que é isso? Morreu todo mundo.
Without the sun, it gets chillier. That's a bang plant, where Toxanol used to make all sorts of splody things before it blew up in their faces.
Ah, sabia.
Your reserves are tapped. Smashly dash. If a story is about you, care for it.
Ah, tá aqui.
Get out of here.
Ah, morreu. Não tem nenhum negócio pra conectar. Isso
That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off.
desgraça. Ok. Peguei. Vamos fazer de novo.
Let's get that mount moving while the getting is good. Let's see.
Cadê os bichinhos?
Super effective. Just stay down. Where are the control sticks on this thing?
E aí, meu filho?
The pyro sticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least now you have a chance to hurt the Merc Puff where it counts.
Palam ka, Joby.
He hopes so, as there's no Plan B, or more correctly, Plan C. Out of Date has named this Plan B. Plan A was to take on the World Eaters by foot, or flaps in this case. Turns out swimming down there was a bad idea.
Non antika urvaya unara.
Wiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyro sticks, it squirts guppos. Scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Merc Puff in particular.
Avar atakali kedot kontan.
Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gil. He has a natural sonar and knows where the guppos sub the surf.
No kachika.
This means you'll have to go visit Gil at Burblebottom. Find Gil and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos.
Avarilanto vita penia.
He used to run a pet shop stocked with guppos, but since they've become more difficult to find, he's diverted his attention to make them grow in numbers instead of giving them away.
Ah, não. Ainda bem que esse é perto.
Can you navigate by starshine? That's just awful. Watch your step around here. That there is a fume foundry where toxanol processed go juice. Let's see. This is Burblebottom, residence of Gill. Happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you.
Fest and trip.
Figures it's impossible. As bad as the air might be, the goo is even worse. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow or against? It's crazy hard to flipper against the surf, but you can't save the world if you let it sweep you away. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Thinks life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Seems to him that there's always another wave coming along. Can't imagine how wonderful it's going to be to surf on gooless goo. The world is going to live. Can't thank you enough for fighting against the goo. Happy you ride alongside the Myriad. They bring a real shine to everything they work with. Thinks that's an excellent point. Riding is life. Work is not nearly as fun. But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there. Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills. He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison. Claims the surf is poison now. Anything that drinks it becomes poison too, including the Tree of Life. His friend Wiz needs guppos for one reason or another, and Gill is ready to point you in the right direction. But here, you're only going to find dead ones. He's pretty sure Wiz wants them alive. Well, at least the ones that aren't already rotting. If you head in the right direction, you'll find a clean enough bit of surf to snag yourself some guppos. Then, figures he's always been a friend to Wiz, and now he can be one to you, too.
Right way to Clywood song.
Tells you to go get those guppos for Wiz. They won't find him on their own. Just hold on tight. Made it count. Your key is gone. Crit. Blitzed. This is Guppy Grotto. There's so much more below the ground. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
up. Kenapa? Kayak full.
Not opening for you. Can't be too many days like this left at the rate the world is ending. That's so well built. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. It's better to go forward than just keep coming back. You need to point its face in the right direction. That seems to be enough guppos to provide the octopod with infinite ammunition. He's surprised the Merc-Puff's been able to hold its breath all this time. It's just another proof of the evolutionary change caused by Toxanol's contamination. Being undersurf has meant the Merc-Puff has been left alone to munch on the root down there undisturbed. This means the northwest route has suffered more damage than the others. He's sure there's enough time to confront the Merc-Puff, but he worries if the world has enough years left to last his lifetime, even if you stop the World Eaters.
Tá, os controles no máximo movimento quando estiver no polvo para acelerar a proximidade. Para esquivar dos ataques, tá? Dá pra carregar um ataque, tá bom? Pra nossa. Interessante. Mas que tá aqui, velho.
That was the last of them. You've sealed the fate of the tribe and the tree. It's time for the end game. You have your destiny. Follow it all the way back to Out of Date. He never told anyone about what's next, but he's sure it involves you. Just continue to stay true to yourself and respect others whatever happens. You've become their pride, the guiding light of the tribe. It's time to return to the tree one last time. It's time to return to the tree one...
Tá, filho, eu quero falar com ele.
It's...
Filho da puta.
He's learned you discovered and activated the last of the arcs. How exciting. Old doesn't always mean bad, especially when talking about tech from the before times. We've lost far more than we've relearned. Just imagine how much more of the world you can see in the Ark, now that the world's still going to be around. You fought well for the world. You can be proud of that, no matter what. Questions if you could possibly have any open spaces left for fellow travelers on that Ark of yours.
So, what we have here is an...
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly,
But you know you can't go on without...
I think we can find...
Almost can't speak. He's so happy to be joining your voyage, to conquer the skies and everything beyond. Wiz knows it's the same old, but he likes to... Says goodbye to you.
Seu principal ponto e é nóis. Puta sacanagem.
Scraps are everywhere except when you need them most, here and now.
Não gostei dessa porra, não.
A plan is all you need. Good to be able to get stuff done while the world is awake. Look at all that great stuff. Keep your eyes peeled and your powder dry. You always find good use for things like that. That sort of stuff always comes in handy. What are you thinking about making? Looks snug.
The what?
Out of Date says the signs of the end of the world are everywhere. It seems nature is preparing to take revenge.
Weta gono.
The day of reckoning is coming, and you are invited. He can feel you're approaching the end date.
E baso do bubu bukoye.
If you haven't decided whom of all like-minded, light-hearted beings you've met have earned a seat on the Ark yet, it's time to do that now.
Tuloya. Uto lula.
Then grasp your last chance to make sure Lupa Lupin stopped for good. The tree settled its score, but it left yours half done.
Loma toaha.
He says you need to see Lupa Lupin eye to eye one last time.
Loma toaha.
He's happy to help.
Beboko kontab.
Untended, the world will go under with time.
Ka nuka nuburak.
Says you'll meet again.
Kutuvun poputore.
He guesses you're back for more.
Iboda kilmok.
Says, how clever of you to find Wiz. Not as clever as him, though.
Ya, savoita mua.
Says you should take it easy.
Do wavu.
He guesses you're back for more.
Ayamu aya.
Asks, how could you run into a world eater and still be walking?
Luatolo maua.
Wishes you goodbye.
Vunko vunturubo.
He guesses you're back for more.
Fabobe mok kofar.
Understands you have other places you need to go. If the mount didn't throw you, you're good.
Será que levar o voltou das cinzas?
The Sifu is seeking revenge too. He hasn't forgotten what Lupa Lupin did, but he also wants to stop him from attacking his tribe. That the world seems to survive doesn't mean he must. He hopes you agree, even if it goes against your light-hearted nature. There's no room for predators in the world the Myriad tribe is building. But he knows this is your fight. You should handle it. Lupa Lupin's own fear was his shackles, not the roots of the tree. It just changed him. You have a chance to stand back and let the tribe handle it. Ready to step into the fray. Are the odds about to change in your favor? If a friend dies, something inside you dies. You can save the Sifu by making yourself a target. You're on. Shockwaves spread when the world crumbles. This is not a prophecy, me telling you about the future. It's you shaping it. Here's a vulgar display of power. the more he does, the stronger he becomes. It's time you remember who the real enemy is and stop playing the game his way. This is how it ends. The Predator and the world itself suffering. But at least it's a sign they're both still alive.
Morreu, né, velho?
So, what we have here is a clear matter of life and death, and only you can make a difference.
You continue to make bad decisions and mistakes. Oh, it never ends.
It's easy to make a good decision when there's only one option. The only mistake here is you.
My mistake is letting you speak. My conviction is that the world would be a better place without your voice.
Convincing yourself doesn't win the argument. In the end, we won't remember the words of our enemies, but the silences of our friends.
The weak can't forgive. Forgiveness is a strength. It's not all life and death. It's no better time than now to accept a helping hand.
Não, o cara não morreu, velho. O maluco sumiu, velho.
Do you wonder what turn life might have taken if you'd done things different? A left when you went right? A yes when you said no? You've walked the thin line between survival and disaster and haven't lost your balance yet. It's because of you the Tree of Life and the world has been given a second chance. You carried the light in a world full of dark and made a difference in a place that needed change. You allied with the Myriad tribe and acted on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. However, light and dark does simply represent the polarities of life. One can't exist without the other. This isn't the end. Just being surrounded by nature as it heals itself will rejuvenate us. Nature will teach us how to survive. So, trust your conscience to show you the way, and everything else will follow.
Islândia?
As foretold, you were destined to split the chains of this world. But you're not alone. You filled the Ark, and those that shared your perspective and gained your trust will accompany you on your journey. Is there a world out there that's better suited for those imbalanced in their light nature than this one? Whether or not, we'll leave your story on record, so those who come after will know you followed your light nature and saved the world. So, when all is said and done, it turned out to be an unusual ending after all. What could be better than ending the story the right way? Ending it your way, a beginning of something new.